Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to bring you the clearest insights.
Okay, close your eyes for a sec and imagine this. You've got a digital employee, right? A real coworker.
Mm-hmm.
But this one doesn't just wait for instructions. It actually thinks, it plans, it, executes tasks for you.
Right. Proactively.
Exactly. Not just a robot, definitely not just a chatbot, but something that anticipates what you need and gets stuff done, all without you needing to constantly look over its shoulder. Sounds like sci-fi, maybe,
Yeah.
but it's actually the emerging reality of personal AI agents.
That's spot on. And today, we're diving deep into that world. Personal AI agents, you might hear them called autonomous AI or agentic AI. We're using insights from our source, personal AI agents, your new digital coworker, which really helps break down what these things are.
And not just what they are, but how they work, right? Where
Yep.
they're being used already, the benefits, which seem huge, but also, importantly, the challenges, the tricky stuff.
Exactly. The challenges and the, ethical things we need to think about. So our mission for you, listening in, is to give you that shortcut. We want you to finish this deep dive feeling genuinely well-informed, getting those aha moments, that practical understanding, without drowning in jargon.
Yep, cut through the noise.
So let's jump in. We keep saying beyond chatbots. What's the fundamental difference here? How should we think about these personal AI agents compared to, like, the chatbots we already know?
That's really the crucial starting point.
Right.
At their core, personal AI agents are, well, they're intelligent software systems. They're built to perceive what's going on around them, their digital environment, basically.
Okay.
Then they make decisions based on that perception, and then they act independently to achieve specific goals you've given them, but with minimal hand-holding from you.
Minimal hand-holding. So it's not just a chat window where I type something and get a response back,
Yeah.
like, asking customer service a question or checking the weather.
Right, that's a chatbot. It's reactive. It waits for your prompt. A personal AI agent, though, think of it more like a digital teammate. It gets the bigger picture. It can take a goal, like a really complex one, break it down into smaller steps, figure out how to do those steps, and then just do them autonomously. And if something changes, like new information comes in, it can often adjust its plan on the fly.
Right, that adaptability sounds key. Let's use that example from the source, booking a work trip. Say I tell my agent, book me a trip to New York next week. Tuesday morning flight, back Friday. Hotel near the client's office. Oh, and set up a team dinner.
Okay, yeah, a traditional assistant human or even a basic AI tool would probably come back with like a ton of questions.
Oh, totally. What airline? Any hotel preference? What's the budget? When's good for dinner? You're still managing the whole process, basically.
Yeah.
Approving every little thing.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
still a lot of back and forth for you, but the source highlights how a personal AI agent handles this completely differently. It would, kind of, quietly, in the background, look up your past trips. Maybe you always fly a certain airline or prefer aisle seats. It checks your calendar, makes sure there are no conflicts, finds and books the flight and hotel that fit.
Without asking you first.
Potentially, yes, if you've given it that level of autonomy and clear preferences. It might even see a gap in your schedule and think, maybe a meeting room is needed, and reserve one. It would send out dinner invites to the team, track the RSVPs,
Wow.
and then boom, you get an email with the full itinerary, all done. You didn't have to manage each step. That's a massive difference in independence.
That is a huge leap. So how does it actually think and act behind the scenes? What's going on there?
It's pretty fascinating, actually. It starts with perceiving the environment. That means it's reading your emails, checking your calendar, maybe looking at web pages for flight info, or even accessing documents you've given it permission to see. It's like its digital eyes and ears.
So it's not just waiting for me to feed it info. It's actively like monitoring my digital world for context. See that flight I booked last month or that email thread with my boss?
Precisely. It gathers that context. Then, based on what it perceives, it moves to making decisions. For instance, it sees you have that 10 a.m. flight booked already. So it decides, okay, no meetings for the user Tuesday morning. Simple logic, but based on real data.
Got it. And then it acts.
Then comes action execution. This is where it, does things. Sends that email confirmation, books the flight using an API, updates your calendar, maybe posts a message in Slack, all without you needing to say, okay, now send the email, now book the flight.
And you mentioned learning. It gets better over time.
Absolutely. That's the fourth piece. Memory and adaptation. It doesn't just do a task and forget it. It remembers. It learns your preferences. Maybe you always pick morning flights or a specific hotel brand. It stores this often using something called vector memory.
Vector memory?
Yeah, it's a clever way to store information so it can quickly recall relevant past experiences or preferences when faced with a similar situation in the future. It's not just a dumb list, it understands context. So if you corrected it once, like, hey, don't book flights with long layovers, it remembers that rule for next time.
Okay, that's smart.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned agents coordinating. They could work together.
Yes. That's another really powerful aspect. Think of them like a team. You could have a travel agent, a finance agent, a calendar agent, and they can communicate. So maybe your finance agent sees the travel budget is getting tight. It could ping the travel agent and say, hey, maybe look for a slightly cheaper hotel next time. That kind of inter-agent coordination is a really big deal.
That makes sense. So just to clarify for everyone listening, these terms, autonomous or agentic, what do they really signal?
Good question. Autonomous just means it can act on its own. Agentic comes from agent, something that acts to achieve goals. Together, they really emphasize that these systems aren't just passive tools. They're designed to initiate action, manage tasks, and complete them, taking some ownership over the outcome. It's less like using a hammer and more like collaborating with a coworker.
Okay, so quick recap.
Yeah.
Chatbot reactive, answers prompts. Personal AI agent understands the bigger picture, makes decisions, acts independently, learns, and can even team up with other agents. A totally different ballgame.
Absolutely. It's a real paradigm shift. And understanding that multi-step workflow perception, decision-making and planning, action execution, memory and adaptation, that's key to grasping how they actually achieve all this.
Right. Let's dig into that workflow. First up, perception. Understand what's going on. This is the input phase, the eyes and ears, yeah.
Exactly. This is where the agent is just constantly gathering data. It's looking at your emails. The boss wants that report by Friday. It checks your calendar. Okay, user is free Thursday afternoon. It might pull info from a PDF brief, scan the web for best flight prices, or check your project status in an app like Notion or Trello via their API.
So it's building this like real-time picture of your situation and tasks.
Precisely. So back to the meeting example. It sees the client's email requesting a meeting. It perceives that. Then it perceives your calendar showing you're free Thursday p.m. It logs that internally as like a potential action pathway.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Which leads smoothly into step 2, decision-making and planning. What should I do about it? This is where the thinking happens.
This is where the intelligence really comes in. It takes all that perceived info and decides the best course of action. This is powered by some pretty sophisticated tech usage. Large language models, like GPT-4 you hear about, are often involved here for understanding and reasoning. Also things like reinforcement learning.
Reinforcement learning.
Yeah, basically learning from trial and error, getting feedback on its actions to improve over time. Think of it like how we learn from experience, and it uses planning algorithms to figure out the sequence of steps needed.
So it's not just reacting, it's actually strategizing. Like, to achieve goal X, I need to do A, then B, then C.
That's exactly it. It breaks down that big goal schedule client meeting into smaller, concrete steps. Step 1, check my calendar. Step 2, check client's availability if possible. Step 3, propose times. Step 4, send invite. Step 5, email confirmation. It's like a mini project manager figuring out the how.
Okay, the plan is set. Now, how does it actually do those things? Step 3, action execution. Let me handle that for you.
Right, this is where thought becomes action.
Yeah.
It actually performs the tasks. Sending the email, summarizing that document, scheduling the meeting in the calendar app, maybe even making an online purchase, updating files in Google Drives, interacting with Slack.
How does it interact with all those different apps?
Often through APIs, application programming interfaces. Think of them as secure gateways that let different software talk to each other. So the agent uses the Google Calendar API to add the meeting, the Zoom API to book a room, the Gmail API to send the confirmation. And the key is, it does all this without you having to manually click through each step.
That automation is the real time saver. But it's not just fire and forget, because there's step 4, memory and adaptation. Let me remember that for next time.
Exactly. This is crucial for improvement. The agent stores memories of what it did, what the outcome was, and any feedback you gave it. It learns your preferences. User prefers morning flights, or user always uses this specific template for reports. It applies this learning next time. If you told it no layovers, it remembers that constraint for future flight bookings.
It actually learns from correction.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. It feels more like training an assistant who gets better over time.
That's a great analogy. It really does adapt. Okay, so let's tie it all together. Your goal: plan my week and prep me for Monday's presentation.
All right, walk me through it.
Okay, Step 1, perception. The agent reads your calendar, opens the presentation file, scans recent emails from your manager about it, gets the context. Step 2, planning. It sees slides 5, 8 aren't done. It decides to block out focused work time for you on Tuesday and Wednesday. It plans to schedule a review call with the team for Thursday.
Makes sense.
Step 3, execution. It actually blocks that time in your calendar. It might send the current draft to your assistant via email asking for initial thoughts. It sends out the meeting invite for the Thursday review.
Okay.
Step 4, memory and adaptation. It notes that you seem to prefer reviewing big presentations 2 days beforehand. It stares that preference. Next time you have a major talk, it will proactively try to schedule the review 2 days prior.
Wow. Okay, that paints a really clear picture. It's like having this super organized, proactive assistant working in the background. So where is this stuff actually showing up? What are the real-world applications people are seeing today?
Yeah, it's not just theory. These agents are popping up in some really interesting places, from, helping with everyday stuff to some pretty advanced industrial uses.
Okay, like what? Let's start with daily tasks, home life maybe, personal assistant type roles.
Definitely. You're seeing things like AI concierges, maybe integrated into tools like Zoom. They can answer calls, schedule meetings, handle basic client questions autonomously, like a virtual receptionist that never sleeps. And think about agents embedded directly on your computer. OpenAI's ChatGPT agent, for example, it can access your calendar, draft emails, build a PowerPoint from your notes, even do online shopping based on vague requests. It's kind of like, remember Clippy?
Oh God, Clippy, please don't say it's like Clippy.
Okay, fair. Think of it as Clippy's incredibly competent, actually helpful descendant. It does things proactively.
Okay, I can live with that. What about in the workplace?
For businesses.
Yep.
Huge potential here. In frontline work, think healthcare. Retail agents are being used to reschedule shifts automatically if someone calls out sick. They can triage tasks, maybe guide new hires through basic training modules.
Right. And what about more like office-based roles?
Yeah.
HR, finance.
Yeah, companies like Deal are creating specific AI personas. Imagine a digital HR assistant that can process leave requests, help run payroll, check compliance for new hires, all autonomously, but importantly, usually with human oversight. A human is still ultimately responsible.
Okay, so augmenting human roles, handling the routine stuff. What about areas like media or customer operations?
Big transformations there, too. In media, agents can orchestrate workflows, automatically generating localized versions of graphics, summarizing long videos, even producing basic news reports from data feeds. Makes content creation way faster and more scalable.
I can see that. And for customer support.
Enterprise platforms like Salesforce, with their Agentforce concept, are building agents that don't just respond to customer issues, but try to anticipate them. They might proactively reach out with a solution before the customer even complains. That's a pretty big shift in service.
Proactive support. Wow. Are they being used in like really cutting-edge R&D as well? Maybe training other AIs?
Absolutely. Companies like Amazon are doing what they call agentic research. They train agents in complex simulated environments, think designing parts in CAD software or analyzing simulated medical records. They use reinforcement learning to build agents that understand not just correlation, but causation, the why behind things. That's crucial for building more reliable, trustworthy AI.
That sounds deep. Are there any specific, like really advanced agent examples out there that make you go, wow, this is the future?
Oh yeah, a few are really pushing the boundaries. There's Menace, launched early 2025, supposedly one of the first agents that can write, test, and deploy software code completely on its own, like a 24/7 AI developer.
Seriously, writes and deploys code.
That's the claim. Then there's Devon AI, which made huge waves. It acts like a full software engineer, debugging, coding, building websites. What's wild is that later versions could apparently delegate tasks to other AIs and even assess its own confidence level in its work. That hints at a kind of self-awareness.
Whoa. Okay. Any others?
Artisan AI is another one. They offer digital colleagues. Their agent, Ava, can function as an autonomous sales rep or a support agent right inside tools like Slack or Salesforce. You're literally adding an AI member to your team.
A digital colleague. It's clear these agents are moving into almost every area. So with all this capability, why the massive buzz? What are the core benefits driving this excitement?
Yeah, it's not just hype. There are some really solid reasons, fundamental benefits driving this push. Our source points to 3 main ones.
Okay, first up, enhanced productivity. What does that mean in practice beyond just doing things faster.
It's about changing the nature of work, really. Yes, tasks get done faster, often 2047, with fewer errors on the routine stuff. But the real impact is freeing up human brain power
Freeing us up.
for the stuff AI can't do well, or maybe ever. Strategic thinking, deep creativity, complex problem solving, empathy, negotiation, leadership. The truly human skills. Imagine a marketing manager not bogged down formatting reports. The agent does that. An exec gets slide decks prepped overnight. We get to focus on higher value, more engaging work.
That's a powerful reframe. Less drudgery, more strategy and creativity. Okay, benefit number 2, scalability and efficiency.
This is huge for businesses.
Right.
Scalability means if you need more capacity, you don't always have to hire dozens more people. You can train an agent once, refine it, and then deploy it hundreds or thousands of times. It scales almost instantly.
Right. Clone the digital worker.
Exactly. And efficiency comes from consistency and speed. Agents follow rules precisely, reducing errors. They work continuously. They maintain a consistent quality standard. Think about that retail chain example. Again, managing schedules, inventory, basic customer queries across hundreds of stores with a central AI system instead of huge teams in each location. That's massive operational efficiency.
Okay, huge operational gains. And the third benefit, the economic impact.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty staggering. The global market for these autonomous agents is forecast to hit nearly, $10 billion by 2025? That's rapid growth.
10 billion, wow.
And that figure reflects real investment and adoption across tons of industries: finance, healthcare, customer service, logistics, HR. It's broad. But interestingly, it's not just about automating jobs away, it's also creating new kinds of jobs.
Like what?
Things like AI trainers, people who teach and refine the agents, agent supervisors, the human oversight role, AI ethicists, ensuring they're used responsibly, prompt engineers, system integrators. The nature of work changes, but new opportunities emerge.
A better productivity, massive scalability, big economic growth, and even new job creation. It sounds incredibly promising, but
Yeah.
you mentioned challenges earlier. This can't be all smooth sailing, right?
No, absolutely not. And it's really, really important we talk about the downsides, the risks, the trade-offs. A balanced view is crucial here.
Okay, where do we start? What's the biggest worry?
Probably reliability and errors. Look, these agents are smart, but they're not perfect. They can still make mistakes, especially with complex multi-step tasks, or if input they get is unclear, or if they don't have enough relevant data.
Mistakes like what?
They can hallucinate, basically make stuff up. They might misinterpret instructions. Remember the example of confusing a request to schedule a follow-up with canceling the original meeting?
Ouch. Yeah.
Or they might execute steps in the wrong order or apply an action to the wrong data set. In areas like finance or healthcare, even one small error could have really serious consequences.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next on the risk list? Privacy. They handle so much data.
That's a huge one. Privacy leakage.
Yeah.
You're giving these agents access to your emails, your documents, potentially sensitive company data. There's a real risk they could accidentally disclose information they shouldn't. Well, one study mentioned in the source found AI-written emails were 3 times more likely to contain accidental data disclosures than human ones. Sometimes the AI just doesn't have the human intuition about what's confidential, what's appropriate to share, unless it's given extremely clear rules, strict guardrails.
3 times more likely. That's concerning. Which brings us to governance, right? How do we manage these things responsibly?
Exactly. Governance and oversight. This is a massive ethical challenge. We need ways to ensure these agents act responsibly and transparently. That means things like clear audit trails, knowing exactly what an agent did and why. It means having humans in the loop, especially for critical decisions, setting up strict rules and boundaries.
Is that happening now? Do current systems have enough oversight?
Well, critics argue many platforms are being rolled out without enough risk management, without thorough enough testing, without proper fail-safes, or clarity on regulatory compliance. Imagine a poorly configured or even hacked agent managing employee payroll or customer data. It could easily violate law or privacy regulations.
Yeah, the potential for misuse, even accidental, is high. And what about us, humans? How do we feel about trusting these agents?
That's the final big challenge. Trust and what's called algorithm aversion. People can be naturally hesitant to trust decisions made by an algorithm, especially if they've seen it make a mistake or if they just don't understand how it reached a decision.
Like the self-driving car analogy you used.
Exactly. Adoption really depends on trust. If users feel the agent is a black box, or if it screws up visibly, they'll resist using it, or they'll constantly double-check everything it does, which defeats the purpose.
So how do you build that trust?
Transparency is key. Clear interfaces that show what the agent is doing and why. Giving users control points may be an approved step before a major action. And really good training and onboarding so people understand the capabilities and the limitations.
Okay, so let's recap those trade-offs. We've got reliability issues and potential errors, major privacy leakage risks, a critical need for strong governance and oversight, which might be lagging, and this human factor of building trust and overcoming algorithm aversion. It's definitely not a simple picture.
Not at all. It's complex, like any technology that has the potential to genuinely reshape how we live and work.
And what a deep dive it's been. We've really unpacked a lot today. What personal AI agents actually are, that detailed workflow, perception, planning, action, memory, seeing all those real-world applications.
Yeah, from virtual receptionists to AI software engineers.
Right. Then the huge benefits, productivity, scale, economic growth, but balanced against those really significant risks and challenges around reliability, privacy, governance, and trust.
It's a field moving incredibly fast, and these agents are, well, they're becoming part of the furniture in our digital lives, changing things fundamentally.
Which really leaves us with a final thought, something for you, the listener, to kind of chew on. As these digital coworkers get more capable, more integrated, how do we need to adapt? What skills become most valuable for us humans? Is it creativity, critical thinking, ethical judgment?
Mm-hmm.
And how do we make sure we're not just users being served by these agents, but actually effective collaborators, thoughtful overseers? How do we guide this powerful technology well? That's definitely something we're thinking about as we step into this agentic future.